Hi, Belle here. So let's talk about the event that just left us. Today is Tuesday, so we just had reset and we just all experienced Crimson Days. And I want to talk about it a little bit because I actually participated in it quite a bit. And so let's talk about Crimson Days. So my guess is majority of us are probably on the same page. Underwhelmed. I think a lot of us expected it to be an event like Festival of the Lost, which, fair to think so, because it's kind of what they compared it to. I don't want to go 100% negative on this. I'm going to give you my honest opinion and my personal experience with the event, and I would love to hear what you all have to say as well down in the comments section. I thought it was going to be a much bigger event, and I walk away from it a little confused about why it was an event at all. Because it feels like they wanted to give us this game type, Crimson Doubles. It's a double elimination playlist, is kind of what they wanted to give us, it sounds like. And they just kind of happen to go, let's use Valentine's Day to do that. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm glad we got an event. I will always be glad every time we get an event, even if it's not great. It's still something, and that's cool. It's fun to experience. But where to start? Okay, let's just start with visually. Okay, I am not a game developer. I am not an artist. I live with an artist, and I live with a person who wants to go into game development. But you walk into the tower, we'd already seen everything there was to see. The picture that they posted with the weekly update talking about Crimson Days, we already knew exactly what we were going to get. There was no surprise, which was kind of sad. The fact that the person you're supposed to go to for the event is Shax, and he has no decorations even down by him. Kind of sad. Now, don't get me wrong, rose petals, cool. All the red, really cool. But if you even look at the quality of the stuff, like the decorations, it's like they took a red blanket material, plastered it over everything, and stuck a couple of not amazingly put together red roses on top of it. So it wasn't even super visually appealing. It wasn't like when you walked into the tower during festival and you're like, holy poop, nobody even expected this, right? We had no idea it was coming. So I wish they'd at least just kept that a surprise if it was going to be this very underwhelming event. Now, nobody in the tower acknowledges the existence of the event at all. Nobody says anything. There's no talk about love. There's no little jokes between characters. And I get that that's all stuff that takes more to add in. You have to get the voices to come back and record that stuff. I understand that, but there was literally no acknowledgement whatsoever of the existence of this event. Then you go to Shax and you get this quest. Now, normally in my mind, quests are multiple steps, not go complete 7 games and you're done. That was it. You pick up a quest, you finish 7 games, and what do you get for it? You get a package for old emotes, and I got Cower. Yay. Getting the emotes for free is cool. I do like that idea. It just... So then you have these bounties. So then I'm thinking, okay, well, at the very least, we're going to be able to do these bounties each day, right? Even if it's the same bounties or something different each day. No. You pick them up the first day, and that's it. You're done when you finish them. So that was kind of gonna be honest, like that, I don't quite get why they couldn't just even bring back the same bounties repeatedly each day so that people had something to do while they were playing. For a lot of people, they didn't experience the same thing I did with loot, but I started playing 3 days late because I had no internet, and I was super stoked to play this. I go in, within like 7 games, I had all the loot. I have 3 ghost shells, both shaders. I might have even gotten one of them twice. I got the emblem. I got all this stuff right away. Speaking of the shaders, though, here's a major positive. I love the shaders. They are some of the most intricate shaders we have received so far. Like the little details that are added in the pattern that's added in that kind of paisley thing. It's perfect for Valentine's Day, and it's gorgeous, especially on like fabrics. Like on my cloak, oh. So I'm a big fan of the shaders. That part almost makes up for some of the other stuff. I love the ghost shells as well, except that I can't see them. Yeah. So the 3 coolest ghost shells in the entire game, you can't go preview. I know they acknowledge that, which is good. Still really throws me off why it happened again on the 3 most popular ghost shells. I just want to be able to see my poop ghost, you guys. Like, I really want to see my poop ghost. I don't want to have to go into a cutscene to do so. You know, when it's like one of the only big things coming out of an event that you do, it's probably good to have them fully accessible to people. Another thing about the ghost, really cool that because so many people were not having the kind of luck I had with their loot drops, they are giving everybody a 320 ghost. I believe this is on the 23rd, or by the 23rd, everybody should be receiving a 320 ghost. If you played 7 games, 7 Crimson double matches, if you actually completed them, you get a 320 ghost, which is cool. That's awesome of them to do. I think all of their events should have something like that, where if you complete a certain amount of it, not all of it, right? You didn't have to play tons and tons, but you participated. Here's a participation reward. It doesn't have to be anything super amazing. It doesn't have to be something game-changing or anything like that. But just here is something you are guaranteed to get at the end of this event because you came back and played during it. That's cool. That's something, especially when your RNG sucks. You need something like that. And that's a cool thing to bring people back if they know they received something for sure. Props to you, Bungie, for doing that. Now, let's get to Crimson Doubles itself. I'm not a fan. I really, really wanted to be. Like, I was so excited going into it to play with my husband. The idea of, like, just 2 people on a team. Even the elimination part was interesting to me, right? It wasn't horrible. Like, I enjoyed parts of it. But it was so, I'm going to use this term and it's a stupid term, but it was so sweaty. Like, it was almost sweatier than Trials. Like, it was like a 5-hour basketball game kind of sweaty. Okay? That's not fun to me. And I get wanting to add in more competitive stuff. I don't think that a Valentine's Day event is the place for competitive. I think that if you're going to try to make it this kind of mushy, fun thing, it should just be fun, right? You don't have to completely remove the aspect of being competitive and wanting to win, but make it just enjoyable. I really think that having some kind of unique objective where, say, you have to protect the other person somehow, or you have to, you know, even something as simple as like control kind of base. Some of the ideas we had on Guardian Radio where when you're within proximity of each other, you have some kind of overshield or something like that. That would be cool. Elimination's not horrible. It just, I don't think it was the right game type. And I don't really feel like the little buff that you get when the person dies was really much at all. There were times where it felt really ridiculously strong, and there were other times I was just kind of like, I had a buff. It felt inconsistent. It really wasn't what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be just kind of goofy, fun, go in with your significant other or a friend and just have a good time, especially because it's only a week long. And if that's the one thing that I have to rely on, like that's what I'm supposed to go do the entire week because that's what you built this event for, you gotta make me want to go in. If 1, your loot drops aren't good for most people, and 2, it's so stupidly sweaty that it's just not something I want to go back to each day after I've completed my 7 games and I've completed the bounties. Why would I go back in? So I played it for like 2 days, a lot. Finished all the stuff, had some fun with it, mostly played because I wanted to experience it and because it was something fun to kind of do with my husband. But honestly, like, okay, him and I are a fairly good couple. We were getting at each other, okay, because it was a frustrating game type, and that's not what it should be. I shouldn't be walking away from it after playing with my friends or my husband going, well, that wasn't a whole lot of fun. No, it should be the opposite. So I do think that a different game choice, something very unique and objective based would have been better. And I hope that if they bring us around next year, that they make some of those tweaks. Overall, for events, I just want to discuss this for a second because I don't want it to sound like I'm saying I dislike this. I love the concept of events. I love the fact that the live team is doing these things to kind of hold us off in between. I think this one was a little bit of a mistake. I'm still glad they did it either way, because it would have been a very empty time otherwise. But I was very underwhelmed with this one. However, overall, the live team is epic. What they have done and the things they pull together and the amount of time that they pull them together is really cool. Like, SRL was awesome. Like, I wish there were more maps, of course. I'm hoping it comes back. I really, really, really think it's coming back sooner than we may think. Festival of Lost, like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely amazing, I have so much stuff to do, but you know, I didn't get every single mask, and there were some of the tasks that were kind of difficult to finish at the quests and stuff because of, you know, dropping your light level down and the things you had to go complete and which masks you needed. I didn't necessarily like the fact that you kind of had to rely on potentially purchasing things in order to definitely get everything, but that was a cool event, and it tied in, right? They tied it into the game. It wasn't just this standalone existing for no known reason thing like Crimson Days. So I'm hoping we see more this year because we've got the spring update, we've got an expansion coming to us this year, and then next year we have Destiny 2, which we're going to talk all about that in a separate video. I hope that we see a couple more in between here before we hit Festival again. And I hope that they're more like Festival experience. I hope there's a little bit more tie-in, and I hope that there is a reason for them being a week long, because Crimson Days did not need to be a week long. It probably should have been on Valentine's Day itself, or maybe just that weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's it. I get that it let everybody get a chance to play it, but it didn't need to be that long. Anyway, overall, I love the idea of the events. I hope they keep up with them. I just hope that they're a little bit higher standard than Crimson Days was, and I hope we see a revamped, much better experience next year with Crimson Days. So I would love to hear your experiences. Did you participate? Who did you came with? Did you enjoy Crimson Doubles? What was your loot drop experience? Just overall, what was your opinion on it, and do you like events in general? And even better, what kind of event would you like to see between now and the next expansion drop? Leave your comments in the description. No, leave your comments down there. Subscribe up somewhere. For now, this bunny's gotta bounce.